Hello, welcome to the stream. This unusually scuffed start to a stream, but we're here. We're starting a new campaign. Today we are playing ASTROPRISMA, and I didn't really prepare an intro spiel for this one because I forgot. It's been a day somehow. So we're going to get straight into it, I guess. We will begin with creating a character and just see where we get to. So I did stream a little ASTROPRISMA previously. We did like a trying it out session where we tried out some space combat. I've since played a little off stream. I tried out the non-space combat, so I have a little grasp of the basics of the rules, but I'm sure there'll still be a lot of learning together with this. So ASTROPRISMA, it is a space hex crawling game. We have a map of our solar system, and that's a perfectly timed ad break. Really, starting soon? Have a look at the stream manager. Yep. Oh well. Okay, so we have our solar system map here, and we will be exploring this and filling in all the hexes as we go. That's the basic game. There is a campaign mode where we progress through 3 solar systems, which maybe we'll do. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. But let's make a character first. I think we'll have our PC and at least one NPC crew member, I think. And yeah, let's get to it. So it is a very pretty book. It's also a fairly short book. It feels like only 144 pages. But there's quite a lot packed in here. There's a lot of very small text in this book. So let's start with the background. The light of civilization has faded from this universe. The names of even the greatest galactic empires have vanished from common knowledge. Megacities, the size of entire planets, are now deserted. Titanic starships drift lifeless through the endless void, bearing the scars of past battles. No one remembers how, when, or why it happened, but the age of humanity came to an abrupt end years, decades, or even centuries ago. The last remnants of our species live scattered across 100 star systems, spread apart and unable to communicate. All knowledge of advanced technology was lost in the apocalypse. The starships, weapons, and systems in use today have been salvaged from the rubble and ruins, repaired, rebuilt, or modified in some way to be usable again. This universe is a hostile environment for humanity. Some groups choose to live united under the safety of orbiting space stations known as settlements, but not all are so lucky. Many small tribes are still trapped on the surface of planets without a way to escape. Even for those who are in possession of a starship, space travel is avoided, but for the most necessary journeys. The lawless, vast void that connects the galaxy is filled with space pirates, looters, and bounty hunters, and we'll no doubt encounter all of these things. The time before the apocalypse is known as the Old World. Despite the complete collapse of civilization, structures, technology, and information still remain present throughout the world, waiting to be unearthed. Welcome back from the ads. The scarcity of advanced technology has turned ancient tech from the Old World into the most prized asset among the new generations of humans. Starship modules, military weapons, cybertech implants, and complex virtual hacks are some of the most valuable pieces of technology in the modern universe. Some, driven by either conviction or necessity, have chosen to leave the safety of their settlements and explore the universe in search of bygone artifacts. These explorers are known as spacefarers, and that is us. We are a spacefarer. Conflicts of interest and fights over important resources like ancient tech have created an environment of hostility between distinct factions with different ideals and goals. The influence of these groups has increased over time, leading to constant friction and wars between those with opposing values. In ASTROPRISMA, you play the role of a spacefarer starting their own journey through a new star system. You'll explore planets, ancient ruins, forsaken cities, and other locations, uncovering the secrets of the old world. Your choices will gradually affect the evolving story, creating a journey unique to you. Your decisions on who to side with and what paths to take will shape the fate of the system and your own future as you continue exploring the galaxy. So that is it. It is a game about exploring. We get a bit about how to play, but it's a hex-crawling game. Our spaceship will be in one of these hexes. We start adjacent to the star, and every turn we will kind of move to a new hex, roll to see what's there, and deal with it. Let me just quickly check something. Okay, all good. Right, so let's get on to character creation. we'll skim through how everything works when when it becomes relevant. Character creation, right? So we need a PC. They're made up of kind of two different things. They have an origin and a role. The origin is their background. It provides some basic stats and gear, and then we have the role, which is what we specifically do on the ship, like are we a pilot or a medic or whatever, and that gives us some more stats and equipment. And then we also need to make our starship. And the origins are, we have the Eco-Terrorist, the Glitch Blade, Wirehead, Astromancer, Desperado, and Chrome Skin. So these are, it's not really a class-based system. These just provide kind of your starting stuff. I haven't played it enough to say how flexible the system is. If like say you play an Eco-Terrorist who's very bad with mind and you want to play a high mind character, I'm not sure how flexible the system is for that. I don't remember seeing things about increasing your stats, but I could have missed that. But we'll see. So what seems fun? Well, they all seem fun here. So, an Eco-Terrorist. History is written by the winners. Sadly, you were born on the losing side. Whether you're a child soldier or a worker from a factory planet, you've now chosen to take justice into your own hands, seeking to repair the damage done to this world. A Glitch Blade is a rogue agent adept with both the use of melee weapons and hacking. You use your skills in stealth, dexterity, and cunning to eliminate enemy threats. You are just like the computer viruses you employ in battle, undetectable, swift, and lethal. So everyone kind of has like cybertech implants in this setting, and you can affect people with computer viruses and hack into them and so on. The Wirehead. You grew up surrounded by circuits, building and repairing drones, mechs, and other machinery. Your connection with robotics and your hours of experience in virtual video games have sharpened your senses as a drone pilot. You are one with the machine. An Astromancer. You've spent your whole life logged into the cybersphere. Your knowledge of code and neophysics allows you to break the barriers of reality and merge the virtual and material worlds together, bringing your powerful hacks to life. And the Desperado. The authoritarian control of space enforced by the empires of the old world has met an abrupt end, ushering a new era of anarchy. It is in this environment that you, like many others, have found a new life outside the restraining grip of galactic law. And finally, the Chrome Skin. The human body is a canvas. The scientific and technological advances made in the old world have rendered our anatomy obsolete and primitive. Your goal is one, to transcend humanity and reach the limits of cyber technology. I'm kind of leaning towards the Desperado. I feel that could lead to like a Firefly-style campaign of, space cowboys. I mean, he even looks like a space cowboy. Let's just go with the Desperado. We also need a name for this guy. So let's turn to the name tables at the end. Not this. It's a different set of tables. Here we go. Okay, character names. Let's clear out all of these dice. I'm thinking we'll go for either a male or a neutral name. So we could we'll just roll a D100 and see what we like. Okay. 38. So that could be... Oh, they're D66s, not tables, not D100 tables. Okay. 35. That could be Lyric, or it could possibly be 53. It could be Lyric, Rune, Jaeger, or Silas. Thinking either Rune or Silas. Let's go with Silas. Okay, there's the space for the name. The text box is a bit too small. There we go. We've got a good spacey font in here. I'm not really sure what would make a font particularly spacey. Let's just stick with maybe Roboto Mono because it's monospace. Yeah, very very spacey. Bold monospace text, the spaciest form of text. Okay, we are Silas and we are a Desperado. So that gives us some starting stats. We have 2 Vigor, 3 Grace, 0 Mind, and 1 Tech. 2, 3, and our whatever it's called, background, career, thingy, role, will give us some numbers to add to these. So this is just what our basic stats are, the kind of common of all Desperados. Okay, we start with a laser blaster, so we can carry 2 weapons, or we can perhaps have 2 weapons equipped at a time. The laser blaster, it gives us, let's see, what is this? D8 plus Vig is the damage. We'll shrink that. We have a reflex sight, which is a weapon mod, and this is hyperlinks, which is very nice. It would be even nicer if my PDF reader let me open links in new tabs. Sadly, it doesn't, but let's go see what a reflex sight does. If you have higher grace than the enemy, this weapon deals an additional +2 damage per attack. Very nice. We'll probably be referring to this a bit before we remember it, so let's just copy it. We'll put it down here as well, so I know. Okay, then back to the characters, and we have 2 contraband packages. What do these do? This is a quest item. Illegal cargo can only be sold at syndicate settlements for 100 serum. I think that's what it is. If you lose a space battle, all your contraband is lost. What's the syndicates? That's the criminal guys, right? You can tell from the name. Syndicate. So I followed a link. And I don't immediately see a reference to a syndicate. Oh, it's the Corsair Syndicate. That's their name. Right. So contraband packages, links to syndicates. Oh, I see. Right. So it links to the settlements page, not the Corsair page. Right. So let's go to the Corsair page. The Corsairs are, I can't remember which symbol they are. One of these symbols. Let's find them. Corsair Syndicates. Here we go. All of the PDF hyperlinks link to the right-hand page, which is a little bit annoying because I have to scroll up a page. Okay, so the Corsair Syndicate, they're the Skull guys. All right. The Corsair Syndicate is a rogue federation of outlaws, smugglers, and bounty hunters. Their ruthless practices and network of contraband hubs have turned them into one of the strongest groups in the new lawless space. Okay. So we kind of associate with like smugglers and pirates and that sort of thing. And I'll run through all the factions once we made our character, because they're kind of interestingly distinct. And I feel we might actually want to associate with the Warg faction. But we'll kind of see how it works out in play. Okay, 2 contraband packages and items stack. Okay, that's our starting gear. So there's 2 modes of play. There's the kind of default mode and there's campaign mode. So let's read through campaign mode, and maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just start with campaign mode, and you know, if we decide we don't want to do a full campaign, we just want to do like a short game, we can always change. So a standard game of ASTROPRISMA will see you explore a single star system, presenting a medium-length, self-contained adventure. If this is your first time playing, it is advised you play in this mode first to familiarise yourself with the rules. Okay. Additionally, you have the option to play in campaign mode. This gameplay setting lets you embark on an extended adventure spanning 3 star systems. A campaign mode is high stakes, it creates an overarching narrative based on your faction allegiances. Your actions in each system alter the power balance in the following scenarios. And it has a rising difficulty. The challenges you face in each map you explore will gradually increase in difficulty, culminating in an all-out war between the strongest factions. I'm kind of inclined to just do campaign mode. Let's see, page 129. Here we go. Campaign mode. In campaign mode, you will travel from the outskirts of the known universe towards the galactic core, where the presence of post-apocalyptic factions of human and machine is strongest, and their wars and conflicts are most visible. Okay, so we play through 3 star systems. In each one, there are 2 or 3 factions competing, and our goal is to get them to reach 3 strength, which we track on our star system map. So we'll have 3 of these maps, and here we got our little faction strength here. And we need to find a warp drive to jump to the next system. We have to explore every tile of the map. Okay, so we have to fully explore 3 star systems and work with factions to increase their strength. And we have different types of systems with barriers and things in, which are like obstacles and things. I think this could be fun to do the campaign mode. You see, before exploring, roll on the table to determine the type of the system. We are in system 1. Yeah, let's do this. We roll a d6. We have got system number 3. Which is this one here. So what does this mean? So we have two bases and barriers. Okay. Impassable tiles occupied by a structure, hazard, and impedes with regular travel. And there are faction bases which are like settlements, but they're only accessible to faction members. Okay. Okay, I like the sound of this. Let's go for campaign play. So we shall make some notes on our map. I do have a bunch of hex tiles. So let's see. Do I have ones for this? That'd be quite nice. No, looks like the hex tiles are. Maybe. No, it looks like the hex tiles are just for the actual things you find there. Okay, so I'll just mark some things off. Let's see, what will be a good symbol for a base? I guess like this, a solid color. Solid color red hex will work for a base. So we have 2 bases. One here. And we have one here. And then we have a bunch of barriers, actually, which are a little bit awkward. Let's have the barriers be... it would be nice if we had these... if we had tokens for these. Let's have the barriers be yellow. We'll try to get these... same size. Okay. Right, so we have and then we've got some on either side, so it's all very symmetrical. And I know that these hexes are not quite the same size as the ones I'm pasting over. It's fine. So quite a lot is blocks in this system. Let's have a look at all of them. So they do all seem to have quite a lot that's obstructed, which I guess makes sense. If you have to fully explore the thing, there's quite a lot going on. Right, so we have our bases. We need to roll the random faction table to determine which faction is in control of each base. And it's a unique faction for each one. Okay. Right, so random factions, page 57. It's a D10. So we have, so both in control by the WAG. It says re-roll if you have a duplicate. So let's see. I think I have tokens for the factions. Yeah. Okay. Let's put... Oh, that's... the red warg token doesn't really show up well on top of the... Let's just have the faction token there, that's fine. Okay, so I need to re-roll. So we have the wargs and the corsairs. That's a shame, because I was thinking... So apparently we start the game kind of allied to the corsairs, because they're who we trade our contraband with. I was thinking maybe we want to ally with the wargs, actually, because the wargs... they're like the freedom fighter, like anti-corporate guys. So it is a shame that we've got both of them in conflict in this starting map. Let's just lock all of these in place so they don't move. Okay, and then back to campaign mode. Factions accumulate strength by holding and capturing bases. Each base a faction controls provides +1 strength. Your goal is to help the faction side with hold 3 bases across 3 systems. Okay. As factions gain more strength, they'll begin to acquire more territory. Capture tiles are known as zones of control. You need favour with the faction to enter a place they have control over. I see, and the zones of control are described here. So like the wargs, when they have 1 strength, small and medium planets are now under warg control. Oh, the word planet is a hyperlink to the planet section. This is a very well hyperlinked PDF. ISF, tiles adjacent to their bases. Okay. Bases work as zones of control. To capture an enemy base, you'll first need to gain access to by winning a random starship fight against the opposing faction. Once inside, roll a d6 on the faction troops table to find out what enemy force you'll need to defeat to capture the facility. Okay. Add +1 to the roll for every strength point your faction has. So I guess they start with... Each of these is going to start with 1 point of power, I guess, because they have a base. Yeah, before advancing to a new system, count the number of settlements and zones and control of each faction in the current map. The faction with the highest total takes over the base of that faction. Okay. Yeah, I guess they each start with 1 strength. So we have the wargs and the corsairs. So this is the wargs here. We have the corsairs, which are these guys. Something about this doesn't feel quite right to me, but no, it does say each base gives 1 faction strength. So okay. All right, so we're going to play multiplayer. We can describe come up with the system name. We call this a note. This is a Colosseum system. Concentrated gas and ice particles cluster. Concentrated gas and ice particle clusters orbit the system's outer ring, surrounding and shielding its traversable core. Colosseum. Let's turn to our name table. Planet names. We have an 8 or possibly an 80. Bismuth. No, that's planet names, not system names. Is there system names? System names. There isn't a system names table unless it's maybe... No. Okay, well, we can just use a planet name, I suppose. Just skim through this to make sure I'm not missing it. Yeah, I don't see a system name table. Okay, we'll just use the planet names. Okay, so we possibly have bismuth or maybe tomb. Let's go for tomb. The tomb system. It's a Colosseum system. Currently the battleground of the Corsairs and the Wargs. Okay, right. That was campaign setup. Now back to character creation. There is also a multiplayer mode as well, which I've tried the co-op game, the co-op mode very briefly. It was fun. We randomly encountered a Warg patrol and became eco-terrorists. Right, yes, this is explaining the character sheet. That's all fine. Okay, hyperdrive. You start with 0 hyperdrive, so this thing here is empty. Our stats, so vigor is strength, survival, using weapons and brute force. Grace is piloting, dodging, agility, stealth and precision. Mind is hacking, decrypting, data, reasoning and knowledge. And tech is piloting drones, repairing and interacting with technology, using cyber tech. So right now we are very graceful and somewhat vigorous. Not great at the others. We start with 20 health. When you reach 0 hit points, you must roll for an abyssal scar, which sounds very cool, so I hope that happens. Let's just embiggen that. And we start with 20 energy. If we have full health at the end of a cycle is visiting one hex, rolling for what is there and interacting with the thing. If we have full health at the end of a cycle, we will recover 3 energy. Energy we spend to use abilities and stuff. Armor we'll get from our gear. XP is spent when installing new cybertech implants or adding starship modules to your ship. Okay. Favor, we start with 0 favor with everyone. I don't think we need to fill that in. Okay. Oh, we have an enemy tracker. I didn't notice that. Right, so all rolls in the game are opposed D10 rolls, so I'll use the white die for me, and I'll use the black D10 as I normally do for enemies. The way it works is we roll the D10 and add the relevant stats, so it's always going to be Vigor, Grace, Mind, or Tech. If we're facing like an environmental hazard, where there isn't like active opposition, we won't be adding anything to the enemy die, so it's just going to be a D10 plus a stats versus another D10. So we're somewhat more likely to beat environmental hazards than active opposition, I guess. It's a pretty cool game from what little I've seen of it, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out and seeing how it goes for a campaign, rather than just like trying out the mechanics. Okay, so certain events offer us a choice. Right, so if it's a solid arrow, those are conflicting options. If it is a empty arrow, that's a note or an optional thing. That seems a little needlessly symbolic, but okay. So we have an example here. You find the remains of a destroyed android. Their body is damaged and missing components stolen by a pair of looters that operate in the area. And here we have 2 conflicting options. We can find the 2 looters and make them pay for what they have done, which would give us +1 favor with whatever this I faction is. I think this is like the synth faction, the guys who love robots. Or we can take what's left of the robot. You steal 2 energy cells from their power system, and there's a note: a small GPS on the robot's back marks the coordinates of a synth settlement located 3 tiles northeast. Speaking of directions, something I really like about ASTROPRISMA is it uses north to mean up, south to mean down, east right, and west is left. Obviously, you probably wouldn't do that in space, but it is nice and easy to remember. Certainly much clearer to me at least, than Traveller's Corewood, Rimwood, Trailing, and Spinwood, which I always need to think about. So just up, down, left, right, all good. Okay, we might meet NPCs. Yep. We can hire crew members. I think we'll start with an NPC crew member, but we might hire more because only having 2 people on a ship feels a little bit limited. We have an example. Let's read through this example. Your ship lands on a Gaian planet, which from the name I'm assuming is kind of an Earth-like planet, very green and watery. Its shifting dunes, oh maybe not, maybe it's a desert planet, dance back and forth as the cold breeze of the night blows over the vast desert. A single yellow flame shines in the distance, standing out against the dark azure sky that slowly approaches the horizon, submerging the planet into gloom. You decide to approach the fire, looking for a warm place to spend the night and escape the threat of frostbite. A human silhouette, illuminated by the flames, sits alone beside the improvised campfire. Her visage becomes clearer as you get close to the light source. A mix of fear and anger colours her expression. Outsiders are not welcome here. In a sudden move, she draws her pistol and aims it at your head, giving you good reason not to shoot. You notice her arm shakes as she holds the gun. Her right arm is covered in bandages, the fabric tainted dark red by her blood. It's an old wound. The woman wears a run-down combat armour set, Lion Star brand. She's a mercenary. At this point, we could simply draw our weapon and fight the mercenary, but let's try something different, attempting to solve the situation non-violently. We will first ask the Oracle for more information, and then decide how best to talk it out of a fight. So we ask the Oracle. Let's just find the Oracle to show you what it looks like. Here we go, the Oracle. So we can roll a d6 for yes, no, or a d66 for to get a word. Hello, Nico. Welcome. The ads have just started as you have shown up. That's very, very unfortunate timing. I'll say hello once the ads end. Right, so she was betrayed. A leadership dispute erupted in her mercenary group after a failed job. Wounded and ostracized, she was abandoned on the desert planet by her own crew. So we'd resolve this as a social challenge. Okay. Alright, crew members. Yeah, we'll just fill out one NPC crew member once we've got our character done. Right, so we have picked our origin. We are a desperado. It's now we need to pick a role, which will go with some skills and stuff. So for roles, we have 6 basic roles, then we have 5 that are available if you become friends with a faction. So we'll be picking for one of the basic roles to start with, and those are the mechanic, the pilot, the medic, navigator, gunner, and marine. And it suggests if you're starting out new, it says somewhere around here, it suggests starting with a pilot and a marine, maybe? The ad break is over. Welcome back from the ads. Hey Nico, good to see you. I'm just starting actually, so I'm hoping the campaign will go well, but we'll find out. I'm just making my character. Okay, so here we go. Here's a suggestion. So maybe pick people in this order: pilot, medic, mechanic or navigator, gunner or marine. My character could be a pilot. Maybe. Pilot, I think, uses a lot of grace, so they'd be a very graceful person. I quite like the idea of like a kind of space cowboy type guy who flies his ship around and gets into mischief. So let's go for this. Let's be a pilot, which we note down here on our ship sheet. And what was my character called? Silas. These text boxes get pretty small. There we go. Silas, the pilot. So this will add to our basic stats. Which I guess we'll just update the main character sheet because I don't think we're going to really change rolls, so we'll have 3 vigor. No, sorry, that's the mechanic. The pilot will add 2 more vigor, so we're on 4 vigor. We get 3 more grace, we're on 6 grace. We get 1 mind and no tech. Let's copy that over to the ship sheet as well. So we've got 4, 6, 1, 1. We get some starting gear, so we get a carbon dagger, 3 flash rounds, and a stardust soda. What exactly does a stardust soda do? Automatically succeed any vigor or grace challenge roll. Okay. Rolls. Okay, add those to my inventory. So we have a carbon dagger, which does d6 plus grace damage, which is pretty good. That's going to be d6 plus 6, as we're very graceful, which is quite a lot compared to enemy health, I think. We have 3 flash rounds, which I think they stun people. And we have a stardust soda. The passive ability of the pilot is you can reroll once per attempt in escaping space combat. Okay, so we're a little bit better at running away than the average person. Let's put that here. And we then choose one of these skills. So I think we get more skills by spending XP or something. I think. Let's have a look at this. Skills. When recruiting a new crew member or creating a character, you must choose one of the 3 available skills to start with. You can unlock additional skills by spending 10 XP per skill. Okay. Each active skill can be used once per cycle, and it costs a side action. Okay. Right, so my potential skills are Split S, spend 3 fuel to dodge an incoming enemy ship attack. Can be triggered at any time, so we can just skip an attack. Barrel Roll, spend 2 fuel to add plus grace extra damage to the next starship weapon attack. That could be good because, again, I'm very graceful. Or Cobra Maneuver, spend 3 fuel to gain 2 extra action dice this turn. So the way spaceship combat works is we'll have a number of d6s that it calls action dice, and we will roll these, and our abilities are triggered by getting certain values on the dice. So, like, let's say we roll a 1, that might allow us to use our guns, whereas if we get like a 5, maybe we don't have anything that uses a 5, so that die is wasted, in which case being able to re-roll it would be, or re-roll it or get extra dice would be good. I think I'm going to go for the barrel roll, though. Barrel roll costs 2 fuel, and it gives us plus grap damage to our next attack. Yeah, so we'll get onto it in a moment when we create the ship. But I think it's quite neat. Like, you build your ship out of components that are all triggered by various things. Okay, I think that's it. Yes, now we're making the ship. So here's our ship. Yeah, ASTROPRISMA. Tokens. Here we go. Starship parts. Right. So we get 4 components in our ship to start with, and there are some suggested pre-built ships, but where's the fun in that? We're just going to make it ourselves. And let's see. We start with these little progress bars to track things. I'll just put numbers. That numbers seem easier. So we start with 20 hull and 20 fuel. If your ship reaches 0 hull, roll for an abyssal scar. That sounds very cool. We can hold up to 6 things in our cargo hold. Yep. Right, so we have 6 slots for modules. Those are those 6 boxes here. We start with 4 of them filled in. We start with 3 tier 1 modules and 1 tier 2 module. I think they go up to tier 3. And we will want a control module, a control module, an engine module, and then I think 2 of just anything. So we probably want like 1 weapon and 1 system. So let's jump over to the modules, which are on, let's say, page 53, I think. Here we go. Okay, right, so it goes up to tier 4. And these cost, I think, both... I'm not sure what the up arrow here is. Is that maybe XP for the cost? I'm not really sure what the up arrow is. The up arrow icon. So here we got like hover propulsors, 3 up arrow, 70 cog. The cog is spare parts or scrap. So that's the like material cost for it. Like up arrow, I guess is maybe XP. I'm not sure. There'll be something with that symbol somewhere, and it will indicate what it means. But if I have one criticism of ASTROPRISMA so far, is that it is quite symbol heavy. There are a lot of little symbols in the text. I'm sure you do learn them after a little bit, but there's a lot. Okay, right. Let's work out what is on our ship. So, got our engines, control, systems, and weapons. That we probably want 1 of each type. So we have a nice balanced thing. And the question really is, what do we want to have as the expensive tier 2 module, as we can only have 1 tier 2 thing and we have 3 tier 1 things. So I'm thinking the Vector cockpit is maybe a good cockpit to start with. It says you start space combat with 1 shield, and 1 shield will fully negate 1 attack. Like, no matter how much damage the attack does, if you have 1 shield, it goes away. Some weapons do bypass shield, but most weapons a shield will deal with. So I think we'll get the Vector cockpits here. I think we probably want a shield generator then, so that we can continue. Let's see, that's the system. Where was the engines? Here's the engines. Yes, let's also pick our engines. So the engines determine how many dice we get. So if we pick, say, a quad reactor, we will have 3 action dice every turn. If we have the velocity rockets, we have 2 action dice every turn, but we have 2 extra action dice while we're at full health. So the velocity rockets are good if you can avoid damage. So maybe that's the play. Let's go for the velocity rockets, I think. And you see they got like little drawings. So here's what the cockpit looks like. Here's what the velocity rockets look like. I have tokens for all these things, and we'll put together our ship on the grid here. Okay, I think we want a shield generator, so we can either a shield generator or repair drones. But I'm thinking the shield generator because it has a wider... let's see. No, it has actually the same range as the repair drones. The repair drones would trigger on a 2, 3, or 4 on the D6. The shield generator on a 4, 5, or 6. I'm torn between the shield generator and the repair drones. So the shield generator would let us completely negate attacks. The repair drones let us tank the attacks but then recover the damage, because we don't have a means of repairing things. They're both like equally good. Let's start with the shield. Let's get a shield generator. Put it here. And for a weapon, we can have lasers that deal 3 damage and ignore shields, or we can have the missiles that deal 6 damage but they are affected by shields. I think maybe the lasers. So kind of the strategy with our ship is we kind of build up our shields, which absorb most of the attacks that hit us, which gets us extra action dice, and we use those action dice to like power a shield generator further and get more lasers to fire at people. So let me now find all of my tokens, and we can put together our ship on the grid. So we need a vector cockpit. Let's see. Vector cockpit. We have our velocity rockets. So we've got 2 of these. Our shield generator. And we have the spark multi-lasers, which annoyingly I'm not sure in Miro that we can like horizontally mirror a thing. Yeah, that's slightly annoying. So our ship is going to be slightly unsymmetrical. So that's going to annoy me. Let me just quickly make like a mirrored version of this. I mean, you don't want a non-symmetrical spaceship. That's just terrible. It wouldn't be streamlined. How could you possibly, land on a planet? Okay, there we go. And we got like some boxes and connectors and stuff that we can use to fill things in. So let's see. So I guess we'll have a cockpit at the front, as is tradition. Makes sense. The shield generator can be like maybe like behind. What have we got for like building elements, like ship components? About this, like what if we like have this here, and we'll have this like here. We'll have our shield. Oops. Oh great! My shield generator is trapped behind my ship. Get everything out the way. Right. So this is like the basic shape of our ship. We have cockpit at the front. We'll have our guns like here. Oh yeah, that looks good. Perfect, amazing. We can have our engines like mounted here. No, my ship is going to be perfectly symmetrical. And then the shield generator we'll put on top. Beautiful. I don't think there's been a more attractive spaceship ever, really. Okay, right. So we've got our ship. We've put it together. It does look kind of. I feel like maybe the engine should be tucked beneath, or like on top or something. Yeah, let's have the engines on top. Okay, right. Here's our ship. Right, so I can explain how these things work. So we start with two. So our rocket says we roll 2d6 action dice every turn, and we have 2 extra action dice while our ship is at full hull. So let's say it's the beginning of space combat, we would have 1 shield, because our vector cockpit says we start space combat with 1 shield. We'd have 4 d6s, and assuming we got to go first, or at least got to go before the enemy damaged us, we'd then roll our 4 dice. And you can see we've got, we have a 5 here. Oops, yes, we have a 5 here. We can spend this either on the shield generator to gain 1 more shield, or on the lasers. We have 2 3s, which we can spend these on the multi-lasers, and we have a 2. We can't do anything with this 2, because none of our things are triggered by a 2. So that's why having something that would let us, like re-roll, as some of the engines did, would be useful. So potentially we could fire 3 times with this, so that'd be good. That would be 3 attacks. That'll be 9 damage ignoring shields, which I think is quite a bit. Let's just look at the sample spaceships. The enemy database, like 9 damage. So yeah, things have, that'd be like nearly half of a spaceship's hull. So that's quite a lot to do in a single hit. In fact, they all have 20 hull. They do all have 20 hull. Of the more difficult ships, they have like more abilities and stuff. The enemy spaceships work a little bit differently, so they have a number of actions, and they have this like 1 to 10 table of things they can do, and they just roll a number of d10s. So this A1 Voyager, it has 3 actions, so we'd roll 3 d10s, and it would do 3 things. So this guy would, with the 3, he could deal 3 damage ignoring shields. He has 2 7s, so he'll then gain 2 shields. So the rules are a little bit different for NPC ships, but it's not really confusing. Okay, right, and we have some best practices. So we're basically done with setup now, although I think we do want to make an NPC crew member because we have a pilot and nobody else. So we'll read through the player advice here and then make an NPC crew member. It is simpler for those guys. Right, so ASTROPRISMA. So fill the map. ASTROPRISMA is at its core a map making game. Make use of your star system map and draw each unique location or encounter. Add small marks and notes and fill the hexes with memories of your adventure. And because we're playing the campaign mode, we have to visit every hex. That is not an option. Ask the Oracle. Use the Oracle as your travel companion and incorporate it into the flow of your playthrough. Ask about what your surrounding environment looks like, or what a character's intentions are, and use it to connect narrative ideas together. Be tribal. Bleed your faction's colours. Don't be a fence-sitter. Become involved with faction goals. Befriend allies and antagonize enemy factions. Polarized relationships with different factions and characters create more impactful and exciting outcomes. And I like how the campaign mode really plays into that. The campaign mode, we've got to get one of the factions more powerful than all the others. Make connections. Travelling through space can be a lonely endeavour. Make the most out of the people you meet through your adventure and try to establish a connection with them. Ask the Oracle about their backstory, trade items, offer to transport them on your ship, etc. Roleplay first. Roleplay is greater than mechanics. Play out the encounters as your character would. Roleplaying should be your main way of interacting with the world and characters. Follow your PC's needs and don't be afraid to ask NPCs for help, directions, or assistance. And finally, escape danger. As you explore this dangerous universe, you will face powerful enemies, some of them far above your current skill level. Don't be too proud to escape a threatening encounter and be aware of your character's current limitations and weaknesses. Right. Okay, campaign tracker. Yes, okay. have a Warg base. And a Corsair base. So we need to get one of these guys. So one of these guys needs to take over, or we need to have a new faction that will take over both of these bases. Now we have a little quest log here, so we're working through faction quests. Okay. Let's make our NPC companion. And do I not have any armor? I don't have any armor. That seems risky. Well, let's make an NPC companion and then like have a short break and then get into it. So back to NPCs. How exactly do they work? Okay. Oh. Right, so it says the stats of NPC crew members are taken from the stats spread provided by their role. Role stats do not apply when picking a role for a player character. So did I actually not get those extra stats? Huh. So I assumed that the way stats worked for player characters is you have some stats from your origin. Oh, in addition to your origin, you start with 2 health packs and 50 scraps. Let's note that down. So we'd get this stuff. And then all of the roles provide extra stats as well, so which I assumed added on. Let's see, scraps. Are they like a currency? Are they somewhere else? I don't think so. Let's just like note it down on the ship, perhaps. No, don't see it. Okay, I guess it's just in my inventory. 50 scraps. Right, so yes, we have some starting stats. So as a Desperado, I have 2 Vigor, 3 Grace, 0 Mind, and 1 Tech. So we're 2, 3, 0, 1. And then for the roles, these also give extra stats, which I assumed added on, but maybe not. Let's read through the whole thing. Stats. Oh, right, I read it the wrong way around. Role stats don't apply when picking a role for a player character, so my stats as the pilot are just these stats here. So I have 2, 3, 0, 1. Okay. In that case, I've played this wrong the 2 times I've tried. And that makes sense because these stats, if you add them together, these stats are really good. And much better than the NPCs. So let's put this back. 2, 3, 0, 1. So these are the stats. So we just take the stats from the book here for NPCs. Okay. So I have a pilot. It suggests having a medic. Then after the medic, the mechanic or navigator. And then after that, the gunner or marine. Let's look at what those things do. So a medic can spend energy to restore hit points, cure status conditions, and so on. A navigator can get extra action dice. Ooh, that's pretty good. Can give us hyperdrive when you discover a settlement. Hyperdrive, despite the name, is not a ship-related thing. Hyperdrive is a character thing. It lets you like reroll dice, I believe. Let's just find that. Let's see. It's going to be described in the character section. Hyperdrive lets you push your character's limits by overclocking their systems. You can spend 1 hyperdrive to reroll any dice roll, deal the maximum possible damage with an attack or ability, or use a hack, cybertech skill or other ability without paying its energy cost. So being able to get hyperdrive is pretty good. We can also spend 2 fuel while in the settlement to travel to any other settlement in the map, so essentially teleport between settlements. Navigator does seem pretty good. I think I'm going to go for a navigator, actually. So I'll have a pilot and a navigator, no medic, and maybe like recruiting NPC medic could be like an early thing we do. So, guess we can just copy the... Sorry, not the medic, the navigator. Guess we can just like copy the whole thing in here. Perfect. Just need a space for their name. Right, let's get a name. Let's turn to our name tables. Where are those? Random tables. Alright. Let's see, is it going to be feminine, neutral, or masculine? It's going to be feminine. We have 11. Owie. Okay, we have a navigator called Owie. Okay, I think that's all the setup done then. So we start the game by... we start like next to the star, I believe. Setting up the game. Yep. Starting your adventure. So we go through character creation. We've done that, and then once you're ready to start, place your starship token on the star tile at the center of the map and move it 1 tile in any direction to begin your first cycle. So let's see. Do we have a token for that? That would be very nice. Don't think we have a separate ship token image. I guess I can... No, we can just... Here we go. Yeah. There we go. It's our ship. It's not super visible against the star, but it's fine. Okay. Right, so I think we're ready to get going. So we'll just have a very short break and then get to it. So I'll give you my, I'll turn on the background music for you, which I totally didn't forget about, and I will see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, let's explore space. So the basic game loop is the start of every cycle. We will move to a new hex, spend 1 fuel. We currently have 20 fuel. Roll for what is in the hex and do a thing, whatever the thing is, which could be, you know, exploring a planet or fighting space pirates or whatever. So I start the game with contraband. So maybe we want to go to the Corsair Syndicate place down here and sell that, because that's the only place I can sell it. And having money is probably more useful than having something I can't sell. So I'm inclined to just make a beeline south towards the Corsair Syndicate. You know, whether we're still friends with these guys later, because I kind of think I want to befriend the Wargs. In fact, let's just look at the faction overviews. So, WARG is the acronym for West Anchor Revolutionary Guerrillas, an insurgent group formed by workers of factory worlds and rebel groups hailing from the core world systems of West Anchor. So, you know, they're all powers of the workers and so on. WARG has one core goal: revolution, to overthrow both the previous imperial authority and the current post-apocalyptic structures of power. According to them, humanity can only be rebuilt through a new, egalitarian social system. At the local level, WARG concentrates its efforts on organising insurgent guerrilla forces and sabotaging enemy objectives. Despite its apparent unity, its long-term plans are not clear. Within the faction, there are different ideological currents. Universalists, who want to decentralise power among various liberated systems. Unitarians, who prioritise revolution in a strong central system. And orbitals, who argue in favour of planetary governing structures instead of universal ones. So they fall afoul of the classic, the classic left-wing disunity where everyone agrees you want a better world, no one can agree how exactly we should make it better, and there's lots of petty infighting. And so that's the Wargs. We also have the Corsair Syndicate, who are the other ones we're kind of similar with. I don't think we really want to join the Interstellar Federation. They're all, you know, rich traders and so on, and business people. The Medusa faction are hackers. The Corsair Syndicates. They're a rogue federation of outlaws, smugglers, and bounty hunters, so that they do seem right up our alley. Their ruthless practices and network of contraband hubs have turned them into one of the strongest groups in the new lawless space. So they do bounty hunting missions, apparently. They sound useful, but I don't know. I feel like the freedom fighters might be the more interesting people to join up with. A faction of self-serving individualists united only through a single common interest: survival. Post-apocalyptic space became a utopia for outlaws, looters, and space pirates who thrived in the new lawless era of space. But they quickly saw their power diminish as new factions formed and began to exert their power. Aside from opposing galactic law and authority, there is little that unites the Syndicate's broad coalition. Bounty hunters, trained killers who follow a strict code of values, mercenaries, ex-soldiers who sell their services to the highest bidder, space pirates, gangs of starship pilots dedicated to raiding ships and looting cargo, and other castes of outlaws. We also have the Synth Arch, who are the transhumanists, and yeah, that's it. So what I'm thinking to start this game is we head south to the Corsairs, we sell our contraband, and then we immediately head around to the Wargs and start making friends with them. Also, I did not pick which ability my navigator had. I'm going to go for the Astrolabe. Get 24 fuel to gain plus X action dice this fight, where X is the number of enemy ships. So I will cross out the others, and we can unlock those with XP as we get it. I don't actually know how we get XP. Let's quickly find that. Experience. Okay, XP is gained by defeating enemies or destroying starships. Makes sense. Right, so yes, let's start a new cycle and head south. So we're going to mark off some fuel. Let's keep a little journal as well. Put it down here. Okay, so cycle 1. And the way it works is we mark off the fuel, as I just did, and then roll on a different table depending on which ring of the system we are in. So we're currently in the inner ring, because it's the innermost one. And that will tell us what happens. So let me find that. Let's see, it's going to be in the exploration section. Inner ring encounters. Okay. So for most of these, we're rolling a d6 to determine what sort of thing it is, and then a d6 on a subtable. Some of them have larger subtables, but that's it. And also, let's quickly have a look at what we've got here. So, if we have a planet encounter, or if we encounter a planet, I should say, in the inner ring, it's going to be a small planet, a planet with one moon, or a void planet. Which says whether the result of a supernatural event or a human experiment, its surface is partly corrupted by the void, which sounds ominous. If we go to the middle ring, we'll have planets that have one moon, two moons, or medium-sized planets. And if we go to the outer ring, we'll have planets that have two moons, planets with rings, and giant planets. So things do change. Even the sizes of the planets we encounter will change as we travel around space, which is kind of cool. So let's start with D6. 3, a hostile encounter. Okay. Not a great start. Go to page 69. So if hostile encounter, roll a d6. If the result is 1, you don't encounter anything this time. Leave the tile blank and make an exploration roll again next time you cross it. Interesting. Okay. Now we've got a 2, so it is outlaws and looters. So we roll another d6. 2 again. A beluga transporter moves slowly through space, carrying tons of cargo containers. You try to contact the ship, but their comms are off. Upon closer inspection, you realise the ship doesn't have any identification. It's a contraband cargo ship. Okay. So I guess this isn't immediately hostile. Like other things mention like ships coming towards us, or being alerted, or being confronted. This one sounds more like we've just encountered a thing that could become a like a hostile encounter, but not necessarily. So it is a beluga transporter, which is this sort of thing. The 3 dots in the info bar, so it says like we've got 20 hull, 3 actions, and then 3 dots. The 3 dots indicate the difficulty. I think this is definitely a case where they have gone too symbol heavy, because I like 3 dots. What does that mean? It's like 1 dot is easy, 3 dots is 2 dots medium. It explains somewhere. Somewhere. It doesn't look like there's the 2 dots, and maybe 3 dots is kind of like, I guess 3 dots is like still somewhat easy, but not very easy, like medium maybe. Okay, so let's have a look at what this ship is. So they can deal damage. It doesn't say that bypasses shields, so presumably it doesn't. It does have quite good healing powers though. It can restore hull and gain shield, so it might actually be difficult to hurt. It would give us 640 serum, I think that is. That's the money. Yep, 640 serum, And 26, I'm going to assume the up arrow is XP. There, XP. If we fought this thing... Oh, I see. Right, so that's the cost for us to buy it. Presumably that's also the XP I would get for defeating it. So I could contact these guys. Let's turn to our oracle tables to flesh this out a bit more. So we have hostile encounter. And let's see, what did it say exactly? Not a neutral encounter, a hostile encounter. A beluga transporter moves slowly through space, carrying tons of cargo containers. You try to contact the ship, but their comms are off. Upon closer inspection, you realise the ship doesn't have any identification. It's a contraband cargo ship. So, given that they're right next to the Corsair base, they're probably going to the Corsairs, or coming from the Corsairs. Let's see, do I have a little hex icon for this? Let's have a look. Yeah, we have like a spaceship symbol. That'll do. Okay, I think I need to put my ship upon something colour so it stands out a little bit compared to the black background. Oracle does not have the black background things. Let's go for a different coloured ship. Yep. Put our ship on top of everything. Oh, that didn't seem to move it on top of everything. Okay, let's bring it up. What is that? Okay. Right, so we've encountered this this transport ship. Sent our oracle. I think we have a nice little oracle table at the end of the book here. Here we go. Yes. So I'm kind of curious. Are they like immediately hostile? I'm thinking that probably not, because it doesn't say so, and it's given as a hostile encounter. If they're immediately hostile, it'll probably say. Like, the fact that it doesn't say they're hostile means they're probably not. I think they're probably just trying to get by. But let's have a look. We have a 55. So my question was, are they not hostile? Which is not a great way of phrasing it, but yes, they're not hostile. Okay. And if I wanted like an extra bit of info there, I've got growth as a word. Yes, they're not hostile, something related to growth. Growth of money, perhaps through contraband smuggling. Right, so their comms are off. I'm a desperado. I know things about these criminals. Although I don't start with any rep with them. But I know things about criminals. I am one. maybe I know like some coded signal or something to broadcast to indicate like, hey, I'm also a nefarious sort of person. You know, don't worry, I won't blow your cover if you don't blow mine. A thieves can't, but spacey. If their comms are down, I guess or at least it appears to be down, I guess they're not going to reply. But maybe that's why we get by without any incident. So we have this. Is there any negotiation rule? There are like social. Let's see, social encounters things. Yeah, social roles. It's recommended you consult the Oracle for guidance and use its answer to determine the result of the situation. If it's still unclear, you can make a challenge roll. Maybe this is a good opportunity to do a challenge roll. So let's get our Beluga transporter ship back. I guess I want like the captain of this ship. I think we have some stats for ship captains somewhere. Here we go. So I guess this is going to be probably going to be a Corsair ship. Medium difficulty Corsair ship is captained by a mercenary. Who have 3 Vigor, 2 Grace, 0 Mind, and 1 Tech. So when used in social situations, Vigor is authority, bravery, and intimidation. Grace is subterfuge, street smarts, and charm. Mind is philosophy, diplomacy, and ideology. And Tech is logic, rhetoric, and debate. I guess it's like street smarts here, if I'm, speaking in Thieves' Cant or whatever, being like, hey, sorry for scanning you and working out that sorry for scanning you, I didn't see anything. Let's leave it at that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Does that make it an opposed grace roll, I guess? So my grace is 3, their grace is 2. Let's say that if this fails, they decide we need to be silenced before we can, spread the word. Okay, so I got an 8 and they got an 8. It's a tie. What do ties mean? If, let's see, if the result of the players dies higher, you succeed. So I guess I fail. It doesn't explicitly say what happens if they're equal, but if the result is higher means success, then equal surely means fail. So, I guess this ship decides... This Beluga transporter decides they can't risk someone who scanned them getting away. Let's make a note here. So we have a hostile encounter with a Beluga transporter. It's a contraband cargo ship. So I scanned them and realised they were transporting contraband. Let's see. Knowing that this might provoke a response, I tried to defuse it. Tried to apologise in Thieves' Cant. I sent it. I broadcast. hoping to just overlook this situation. But the captain of the Beluga decided I must be silenced. Okay, let's do space combats. So, let's find our space combat rules. Here we go. So we roll grace against the enemy ships to determine turn order. They add the number of actions. So this guy has 3 actions, and we have 3 grace. So it is D10 plus 3, just opposed roll. Alright, they're going first. So maybe I broadcast my apology like, hey, sorry, I didn't see anything. I'll just be going now, and they just immediately open fire, perhaps. If you bring the enemy ship's hull to 0, they are destroyed. Roll loot based on their difficulty. Okay. We can... let's see, certain modules like to board an enemy ship by teleporting inside it. We don't have any of those. You can spend 2 action dice to attempt to escape space combat. And I think we have something that lets us... Yes, that's the passive ability of the pilot. I can reroll as well to try to do slightly better there. Okay, so yeah, the ship combat rules are pretty basic. So they go first because they won initiative. So I'll mostly be looking at this and adjusting these numbers. So they get 3 actions, so I'll roll 3d10. Actually, is the order going to matter? I'm not sure. Oh, let's roll it one at a time. So 4. They're going to deal 4 damage, so that knocks out my shield. So I did start with a shield because of my Vector cockpit, so that is gone. They are going to gain 1 shield. I need a place to track the enemy ship. Let's just put a little note here. Hull 20, shield 1. And they're going to attack again. Okay. For 4 damage. So I am now down some hull, so I'm not going to get the extra action dice from my velocity rockets. And I don't have a means of regaining hull. So the shield generator is probably a bad choice. I should have gone for the repair drones. I see that now. It's so clear to me. Oh well. Right, now it's my turn, so I get 2 action dice. I've got a 5 and a 1. I can't use the 1 for anything. I could gain a shield or deal 3 damage ignoring shields. Let's deal 3 damage. Alright. That's it. 6. They are going to restore 4 hull. Amazing. 2. They're going to deal 2 damage. Maybe I should run away from this fight. And 9. They're going to gain another shield. Let's stick it out for another round and then run away if it's looking very poor. I've got a 1 and a 4. Okay. I can deal some damage. They're going to gain an extra action. Next turn, they are going to gain another shield. They're just building these shields up even though they're not useful for them. Another shield. Okay. Let's run away from this fight. or try to at least, and then I am going to adjust the ship. I think the shield generator was a mistake, given that I have the velocity rockets. So, given that I've seen the folly of my ways in the very first space combat, I'm just gonna redo that. So we'll have the repair drones instead of the shield generator. But we've got to get out of this fight first. So, fleeing from space... Oh, hang on, did I have anything I could redo here? Oh, I can do a barrel roll to add extra damage. Oh, I have the astrolabe as well. Okay, I'll learn all these abilities at some point. Let's run away from this fight, and then the next fight I'll remember I have these various abilities, and we'll have a repair drone. So, escaping space combat. They've just acted, so it is my turn. I will spend my 2 action dice to attempt to flee from space combat. I must roll Grace. My Grace is 3. And as a pilot, I can re-roll. So it is D10 plus 3 versus D10 plus 3, and I get a re-roll. Okay, so I've got a 6, which becomes a 9. They've got a 10, which becomes a 13. So a re-roll is not even going to win. So, okay, I don't get to run away. I can do a boost escape, though. When trying to escape from a space battle, you can perform a boost escape. This will allow you to immediately flee the encounter without needing to win an escape roll at the cost of 5 fuel. You may do so at any point during a space battle, even during the enemy's turn. Let's do that. Spend 5 fuel to escape. They outgunned us and we used a boost escape to get away. Okay. Right, so yes, I'm gonna redo the ship because it is obvious now that I've immediately designed a dumb ship. So that shield generator is gonna be repair drones instead. Right, where's my tokens gone? Here we go, starship parts, repair drones. And that's it, I'm sticking with this ship now. So if it's still bad, that's my fault, I'm just not good at designing spaceships, I guess. It's still going to be symmetrical, look! There's 2 repair drones here. Okay, right. What, you don't like symmetrical spaceships? Okay, well, we can at least continue down to the Corsairs. This guy is going to be around for a return here, I think. So that was the end of cycle 1. Now it is cycle 2. I guess you maybe note down which hex these things happen in. That was hex 3. Cycle to hex. What is this? Going to be hex 12. Square brackets are very spacey, I feel. Okay, so we're now in the middle ring, so we're on a different encounter table and we'll get different things. Five, a planet. Okay. We can see what sort of planet we've got. We have a planet with 2 moons, a small-sized planet with 2 satellites orbiting around its gravitational core. Okay, planet with 2 moons. Oh, I guess we actually, yeah, we don't need to roll because we know what's there. It's the settlement. Right, yes. Yes, that replaces what's already there. Okay, so it's a base. Let's just check the rules again for this stuff. So I believe it's just a settlement. Let's see. Bases act like settlements, except they're only accessible to faction member. Ooh, okay, right. I see. So we can't go there. So really, I've messed this whole thing up. So you need to have, when you get 2 reputation with a faction, you can then do a mission to join the faction. And I guess we need to do that before we can go to either of these bases. So, okay, so we don't want to go down there at all because we can't. Let's go here. I was just wondering, how do we get to these hexes then? But it makes sense. We need to join one of these factions and crush the other one, taking over this base, and then we can move into the hex beyond. Let's go here. Let's go to hex 11. Let's just it's in the middle ring, so let's just stick with the same encounter. So we got a planet, and it was a planet with 2 moons. Now we need to mark off a fuel. We'll ideally find a settlement that isn't like a faction base because we need to refuel and repair things. Okay, right, planets. So we roll a d6 to see what sort of planet it is. If we want to land, we can roll d6 to see where we land, and then each planet has its own table of things that we might find as we explore. And this place has 2 moons, so we could also do all this for the moons. Okay, it is a Gaian planet that is, if we land, which I guess I rolled, so I guess we are landing. A crack inside of a cliff reveals an underground city carved into the rock. Okay, Gaian planets are dry and rocky, with sand deserts taking up most of their surface. Despite their arid nature, they were extensively settled by the ancient galactic empires due to precious jewels found below surface level. Many Gaian planets were terraformed, introducing water and plant life into their ecosystem. Okay. We need a planet name. Oh, achievements. This game has achievements. Wonderful. Anyway, planet names. Let's scroll over to that. So we do have a fair number of tables. So like the NPC requests, these are like pretty pretty concrete things. We also have like NPC goals, like this NPC might want to find someone to love. And what is this? This is a hyperlink. It opens up a web browser on the having googled roll d10. Neat. See, what is the apocalypse theory of this NPC? What faction they belong to, and so on and so forth. But we need a planet name for this Gaian planet. It is called Carjet. That's Carjet with an H. Why is that bold? Unbold that, there we go. I see we also have satellite names as well. Let's roll up those as well. D20 plus D20. So you have Carjet and it has 2 moons. Those being Aquarius and Sagittarius. Okay, so we set down on Carjet. Maybe we decided we need to, set down, and I don't know if we can actually repair the ship, but that feels like a good narrative reason to set down on, maybe we could set down on the moon, actually. We have a satellite's tail. Are these different from planets? Let's have a look at our encounters. No, I think the satellites are moons. Okay. So we could maybe set down on a satellite rather than the whole planet, but I don't know. We've rolled for where we get on the planet, so I think we're setting down on a planet. So let's say we've set down because we want to do some repairs. So limping away from the Beluga, we come across a Gaian planet with 2 moons and decide to set down for repairs. I took us down to, let's see. Took us down to a mountainous region and let's see, as I approached like a flat area. Flat area land, we saw that it was an old landing pad. So I took it down to a mountainous region and approached a flat area to land, which turned out to be an ancient landing pad on closer inspection. Looking around, we saw yeah. Looking around, we saw that part of the nearby mountain face had collapsed, revealing an underground city. of the original entrance or connection from this landing site, there is no sign. Right, I want to see if I can actually repair my ship. So I know that docking with a settlement will restore all of the hull, but I don't know if I can do it myself. Or maybe that's something that only the certain abilities can do. Like, we don't have a mechanic. Maybe that's something a mechanic can do. Let's have a look. Let's see. Crew member roles. Mechanic. They can restore hull when it drops down to 0. Have a look at the starship sheet to see if that says anything. Anything about like repairing? Is there an index? There is an index. Okay, great. Like, it might be that you just have to dock at a settlement to get your ship repaired, but it would be nice to know if there is another way. Just skim through the PDF for the word hull. Right, okay, yes, there we go. There we go. The mechanic, their passive ability. Repairing the ship with scraps now restores D10 plus tech hull. So that suggests that, since it says now restores, that suggests that you can repair with scraps by default for like a less good thing. Scraps can be used to repair your starship's hull. You can choose to spend 20 scraps to restore D6 plus tech hull. During space combat, this action can be performed once per turn by paying the scrap cost and consuming the action die. Ah, interesting. So, on 2 of those turns, when I had an action die that didn't do anything, didn't match anything, I could have actually repaired my ship. That's good to know. So, you start with 50 scrap. My tech is only a 1, though, so I would restore 2 to 7 damage. I mean, that's better than nothing. But I feel like scrap might be useful for something else. Scraps. You can use them to repair your ship or craft new items. Okay. Let's have a look at what we can do at a scrapyard. You may craft any weapon, mod, armor, drone, or grenade by spending scraps equal to its marked serum cost. Crafting item for the first time provides 1 XP. I think it's worth to do at least 1 repair. So let's do that. So let's set down. We don't have a mechanic, so we're not very good at this, but you know, we're doing our best. We're patching up like the obvious holes in the hull. It's a shame we can't use our repair drones actually outside of space combat, but I guess there needs to be a reason you can't do that for balancing purposes. So I'm going to roll a d6 and add my tech. 7. Perfect. To actually fully repair it. What was my other person called? My navigator, Owie. Okay. So Owie and I get into the elbow grease as we work on the ship. We're no mechanics. Owie keeps saying I should hire one. But we can get the job done. Kind of interested in Aoi. This feels like a character moment we've got here, like 2 people working on the ship after fleeing a space fight. I want to look at the like random tables for NPC things. I want to know like what sort of a person Aoi is, and maybe we'll like start another little text box here for like character details. So Aoi, my navigator, what is her deal? Let's roll for an emotion. Let's roll on all these tables. We'll just, maybe we won't use all the numbers, all the values rather, but they can serve as inspiration. So Aoi's trade is an artist. Not sure that's relevant, or maybe it's an abandoned dream. Maybe it's something she just does for fun. Her dominant emotion is that she's lonely. She's a tortured artist. And her look is she wears a jet pilot helmet, which is kind of funny given that she's not the pilot. What is her style? I don't know if she has a feminine name, but she has a masculine style. And I guess she's not aligned with the faction because she's with me. What is her goal? And what's her apocalypse theory? Apocalypse theory, she believes that the apocalypse was the result of a failed popular uprising. This could either incline us towards the wargs, who, want to have like an uprising of the working class and seize the means of production, that sort of thing, or against them, if she believes that it happened once and it destroyed everything. And her goal is to acquire knowledge. Okay, this is kind of an interesting combination of things. So I do like this idea of her being a tortured artist. Acquire knowledge, maybe that could be like her motivation to come out into space. She wants to explore. Or maybe, so I've said that she keeps saying that I should hire a mechanic. Maybe there's more to that than just, the practicalities of having a mechanic. Maybe part of the reason is because she is lonely. Like she wants to come out into space, to travel around, to kind of see things and learn things, experience new things. But actually being on a ship, for long stretches of time, she finds it very lonely with just one other person. And so she maybe like abandons herself in the crowd when we do go to settlements and that sort of thing. So Aoi came to space to experience new things, but being cooped on a ship with just one other person for weeks at a time gets to her. She loses herself in the crowd at any opportunity. I'm going to say she's painted her jet pilot helmet. Let's see what exactly the... Let's just make sure I'm envisioning the right sort of thing. Yeah, the helmet with like the big visors and the optional like breathing attachment thing. I think she probably like painted it because she's an artist. So she wears brightly painted jet pilot's helmet. Let's see, so she's an artist, always wears brightly painted jet pilot helmet that has personal significance. And sketches things she sees. Okay, there we go. That's enough to start with, I think. So we have sat down on this planet. We've repaired the ship somewhat. I think it is time to explore this planet. So we've sat down next to this like underground city. If she's come out into space to find new things, this seems right up her alley, so I guess we'll head into the city. And let's roll for what we come across when we explore. 4. Jewel looters. You approach a drilling platform on top of a rocky sandstone plateau. As you get closer, you see a pair of figures breaking into one of the jewel extraction machines. The 2 space pirates notice your presence, point their weapons at you, and fire. It's more Corsair faction. Okay. So that doesn't really fit with exploring the city, so maybe there could be other people at the city. Like we found this just coming down to land on a flat spot. Maybe other people have found this. There might be other entrances. Maybe there's like a path up to the top of the mountain or something, or like some other path that leads outside, and it's outside where we find these people. So though much had collapsed, there was a lot to see. We found or at least a exit to the surface, which ended at a drilling platform. Too late, we realised the sound of banging metal wasn't something blowing in the wind. It was someone trying to break into the platform. The space pirate jewel thieves had their guns pointed at us before we knew what was happening. Trained on us. Okay, another combat. Right, 2 space pirates. Let's get combat up. Combat very combative. And we'll get our space pirates. And before we get into that, I will go and get a drink, so I'll start the ad break early while I do that, so I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back, hydrated, ready to fight some space pirates. Okay, space pirates. The organization of enemies is a little confusing. It does work okay in the physical book because it's only 6 pages, 3 2-page spreads, so it's not much work to flip through, but they're grouped into 2 pages of outlaws and rebels, 2 pages of hackers and androids, and 2 pages of ISF units and alien life form, which is kind of the miscellaneous category, I guess. And then we go on to the spaceships. So the space pirates are up at the front. Okay, space pirate. Outlaw starship pilots that make a habit of attacking other vessels and stealing their cargo. They have 15 hit points, 1 point of armor. Yeah, I don't have any armor. I forgot about that. I guess Aoi does have something. Let's go look up Aoi's stuff to start with. So, let's see. Rolls. She has a hack counterspell. Silence all enemies for mind turns, so that'd be 3 turns, and disable their passive skill. I don't think they have a passive skill. So mind disables cyberware, but it doesn't look like they have any cyberware. So that's not that useful. She has Adrena shot and Electroxin capsule. Adrena shot removes stun. Electroxin capsule gives +1 tech until the next cycle. So Aoi is completely useless in a fight. She doesn't have any weapons at all. So it is actually just me versus 2 space pirates. I do have a laser blaster. And I have a reflex sight. What exactly did that do? Let's see, weapon mods. Reflex sights. If you have higher grace than the enemy, I do have higher grace than the enemy. This deals an additional +2 damage per attack. Okay. So I'm dealing. So my laser blast is going to do D8 plus Vig +2 damage. Which isn't too bad. So enemy, like regular combat, works kind of the same as spaceship combat, in that the enemies roll a D10 to determine what they do. They only get 1 action per round, though, so you know it's not quite so bad. Okay, let's just have a quick look at the combat rules. So you can perform these actions during your turn. You can use a weapon, you can use a hack, you can use cyber tech, or you can escape. The turn order is determined at the start of combat. All combatants roll D10 plus grace. Does Aoi have... I guess Aoi doesn't have hit points. So I guess she's just a non-combatant. Guess? Let's have a look. Crew members. MC crew members have 20 hit points and die reduced to 0. Okay, so I feel I should get Aoi a weapon. Okay, right. Let's go over here so I can see my stats and weapons and things. So, so Aoi has 20, Pirate 1 has 15, Pirate 2 has 15. I guess what's Aoi's grace? She has 0 grace. I could like chuck my dagger to her, and then she at least has a basic weapon. But if she has no grace, she's going to just be doing a d6 damage. I do have a flash round. A flash round, roll vigor against the highest difficulty enemy. All enemies are stunned for tech turns. I only have one tech. I mean, it's better than nothing. Aoi has good tech though, right? She has 2 tech. Okay. You make a side action. You can spend it by using one item from your inventory or any other ability that consumes a side action. Okay, so we have to determine initiative. It's individual initiative, and it says here the turn steps are we roll d10 for what the enemy is going to do, and then then the player character acts, and then it goes on to the enemy's turn. So the way I interpreted that when I played a co-op game over the weekend, which I guess is kind of similar because there's 2 characters here as well, there's me and Aoi, is at the start of each round I'd roll for what the enemies would do, kind of as foreshadowing, and then we'd act in initiative order. So let's just work out the initiative first, because what I'm thinking a good thing to do in this first round might be is if I act before Aoi, I could hand her a flash round, and then on her turn she could throw it at the pirates to stun them. That's probably the best bets, given that she doesn't have a gun. Okay, right, so it is d10 plus grace. And I have 3 grace, Aoi has 0 grace, completely graceless, and the space pirates have 2 grace. Okay. Right, let's roll for where's my white d10 gone? Okay, so let's roll for me. Space Pirate 1, Space Pirate 2, and Aoi. Okay, so... Okay, I and the Space Pirates have both got 9, but I have a higher grace, so I go first. So it is me with 20 hit points right now, then the pirates, then Aoi. So Aoi does go first. Sorry, no, I do go before Aoi, so I can do that plan. I can give her a flash round to chuck at the pirates. But first, we then foreshadow what the pirates are going to do. So let's say this is going to be Pirate 1, and this is going to be Pirate 2. Pirate 1 is going to use a shield stim, which removes shock. He is not shocked, so he's effectively doing nothing. Pirate 2 is going to use an ignition shotgun, which does d10 plus Vig damage. That's quite a lot of damage. Okay, so I see them kind of each reaching for their stuff. I'm gonna aim for Pirate 2. And like there's no like cover, I don't think. Oh, the enemies are all going to target Aoi. Yes, because enemies target the character who goes next in the turn order. Okay, right. So I see one of them like starting to raise his shotgun towards Aoi, and I take aim and fire. And damage is just automatic. I don't believe there's like rolling to hit or rolling to dodge. It's just you attack with one of your equipped weapons, you roll damage and add the relevant stat. So I have d8 plus Vig plus 2 because I have high grace, minus 1 because I have 1 armor, so it is just d8 plus Vig plus 1. Okay, that is 8 damage on Pirate 2. I then hand a flash round to Aoi as a side action. And like, Aoi, don't hold back, go for the eyes. Pirate 1, he does his thing. He resists. He removes his shock. That's okay. Pirate 2 is going to take a shot at Aoi, so that's D10 plus Vig damage. Aoi has no armor, so she's just going to take the full force of that. Okay, Aoi takes 8 damage. Shotgun blast to the face. And Aoi is going to chuck a flash round. So she makes a vigor check against the enemies. Oh, does she have good vigor? She has 1 vigor. The enemies have 2 vigor, so not amazing odds, but you know. Okay, Aoi did indeed win the vigor check, so all enemies are stunned for. She's got 2 tech, right? 2 turns. Right, okay, it comes around to my turn again. I'm just gonna... They're stunned, so I don't think they can do anything. Let's see, the description of the status effects is here. Stun. Okay, okay, so roll a d6 at the start of your turn. If you roll a 1, your turn is skipped, so they actually only have a 1 in 10 chance of not being able to do something. That's not amazing. So let's foreshadow what the enemies are going to do. So enemy 1 is the white die. Enemy 1 is going to use his shotgun on Aoi. And enemy 2 is going to drink his 0G liquor, which lets him move twice next turn. I mean, as long as Aoi isn't just killed outright, I have a health pack. I can bring her back. Maybe Aoi should escape. I mean, she's going to get shot at first, but... Okay, I'm going to go for Pirate 1. So that's D8 plus 3 damage on him. Okay, that's 10 damage on him. He then rolls a D6. 1 in 6 chance he skips his turn. He does not skip his turn, and that's 1 stun, 1 off, so he is going to take aim at Aoi and fire for D10 plus 2 damage. So this could just kill Aoi if I'm unlucky here. Not quite. She has 1 hit point left. I have a side action. I've already acted. Okay, Pirate 2. He skips his turn. Aoi is going to try to escape combat. Because I don't think any of her items are useful. Adrena Shot, what does that do? Remove stun. Yeah, she's just going to try to escape combat. So that's a grace roll. She has 0 grace. She does not successfully escape combat. So now next round, let's figure out what the pirates are doing. They are both firing their shotguns. I'm going to... I guess I can use... do I have any abilities any useful abilities? What does my Stardust Soda do? Automatically seen any Vig or Gra challenge rolls, so I can use a health pack as a side action to heal up Aoi. So I'm just going to shoot at Pirate 1 because I've got the least health. Okay, that does work out to 5, so Pirate 1 is dead. And I'm going to use a health pack on Aoi. Feels a little odd using a health pack in the middle of a fight, but it does say as a side action you can use one item from your inventory. So maybe it's just like a big syringe that you jab into them or something and it injects magic healing goo. So that was D10 plus Vig health. I'm going to interpret that as it's the vigor for the person being healed. I think that makes most sense. That's going to be D10 plus 1 health for Aoi. D10. 6 health. Pirate does not skip his turn, so he fires at Aoi and has a reasonable chance of just killing her, which would be very unfortunate. 10. Yep, Aoi is exploded by Space Pirate. Okay. That wasn't what I wanted to happen. Right, my turn. So the pirate is going to use his shotgun on me this time. Makes sense. But I'm going to try to kill him. I got a 5 in total, so he has 2 health. He shoots me. Man, not having armor is really tough. He shoots me for 7 damage. Then what is he going to do? He's going to shoot me again. So I will shoot him again and kill him. Okay, so I'm down to 13 health. It says that crew members, they just die when they're reduced to 0 hit points, but I'm kind of curious about what if I do just give her an abyssal scar? Let's have a look at the abyssal scars. I feel having, nobody around is going to be a bit tough. Let's see, where are the abyssal scars? Abyssal scars are a strange supernatural event that has been observed to occur when living beings are close to death. When your character reaches 0 health or your starship reaches 0 hull, you must roll a d6 on this table. If the result is a 6 or higher, your character dies. Your journey comes to an end. Start a new adventure exploring a new system. If the result is lower than 6, your player character mysteriously avoids death but now bears the mark of an abyssal scar. Set your health, hull, fuel, and energy to 10 and place your starship on the star hex. Next time you face death, add +1 to your abyssal scar roll. Okay, so... So it may not really make sense. I'm gonna do it. I'm sure I can work this into the story somehow. So, right. So, we have space pirates. They train their guns on us. Aoi takes a shot that looks fatal, but you feel it crawl under your skin. Something saved your life at the last second and dragged you to safety. That something has now become a part of you. An alien symbiote has entered your system. Parts of your body have mutated into viscous black fibers, and your mind is partly controlled by primal instinct. -1 to all of your stats. You can no longer escape combat encounters. Okay. So what would this look like? So she goes down and well, I guess another way of doing this is I could possibly recruit one of the space pirates, right? I was actually kind of thinking that when the fight began, maybe this is a way to recruit another character. But I think if I believe that my current traveling companion has just been killed, I'm going to be in a shoot first, try to recruit later sort of mood. So I don't think I'm in the mood to recruit a space pirate right now. So I guess what happens is Aoi appears to go down. Firing through the tiers, I deal with the space pirates and turn to Aoi only to see there's some sort of like weird like discoloration like around like her wounds, and she's like breathing very shallowly. It looks like infected rather than, you know, dead. And I carry her back to the ship, and her wounds start to close oddly quickly. And when she wakes up, for a moment there's something kind of animalistic in her expression, something fierce. And then it kind of fades away, and like she is definitely not quite right. Like she maybe like slurs her words a little, and like her movements are a little bit like less coordinated than they were before, but she seems alive and okay. Maybe it'll wear off, you never know. So okay, let's note down Aoi. Let's put her back at let's see, so set your health, hull, fuel, and energy. So she's down to 10 hit points. Let's just have this noted down in her like character description below. Aoi, navigator, 10 HP, 1 scar. Actually, I'm going to keep a note of the scars. Right. So because I'm new to ASTROPRISMA and therefore playing in easy mode, I'm gonna give my NPCs abyssal scars. So let's see. So alien microbes have colonized her body, saving her life, but at the cost of making her more aggressive and less coordinated. -1 to all stats, cannot flee combat. There we go. So I'm thinking like hours, like maybe even like days pass. Right, so let's kind of write a summary here. So Aoi goes down, it's all a blur. Aoi goes down, I dispatch the pirates. So it's all a blur. Aoi goes down, I dispatch the pirates. I turn to Aoi, she's breathing shallowly and her wounds look infected. Carry her back to the ship. And put her to bed. We should have a medic. Why don't we have a medic? Days pass, fading in and out of consciousness. There's nothing I can do. I wasn't sure how close the relationship between the PC and Aoi is, Silas and Aoi is, but it sounds like Silas is pretty stressed by this whole situation. So maybe there's a pretty close relationship. So days pass, her fading in and out of consciousness. There's nothing I can do. Eventually she comes out of it. She first wakes up. Something in her eyes. An expression. Almost animalistic almost animalistic, and then after a moment it's gone. Let's see, so she's... I guess clumsy. Oh, a bit more clumsy now. Slurs her words a bit. But seems to have come through it all right. Seems to come through it mostly intact. We need a medic. Let's see, would a medic have been able to prevent this? What does the medic do? Medic. So they can restore hit points. They can give armor. Oh, very nice. And they can cure status conditions. But they can't avoid death. But they do heal more damage than a medpack does. Time to switch to a romance RPG. Yes. Yes. Well, they do say in space no one can hear you scream. Okay, let's take off and leave this planet behind. Did we ever name this planet? We did. It's called Carjets. Okay. I'm kind of looking for a settlement where I can, get my my ship is fixed, but I need to refuel. I don't have any money though. I can loot the space pirate bodies. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I get XP for it as well. 3 XP. So there are 2 of them, and they each give 3 XP, so that is 6. 6 XP. And looting, which is somewhere. Loot. After defeating an enemy in combat or after destroying an enemy ship, you can roll for loot. So these were medium enemies, so I rolled 2d6 on the loot rewards table. And there were 2 of them, so I guess I roll twice. Okay, we got a 10 and a 7, so that is 75 serum and a random ranged weapon. So we do get some money. After defeating them, you find 1 contraband package among their belongings. You may take it to an ISF settlement for +1 favor or sell it at a core settlement for 200 serum. So we now have 3 contraband packages. So we have a contraband package, some loose change, and a random ranged weapon, which Aoi can use as her gun. Okay, this is probably a D6, right? Yeah. Okay. 6. That's oh, it's not a D6. It's a D8. 6. Okay, fine. That would be the ion carbine. D10 plus grace for damage. How graceful is Aoi? She has 0 grace. Well, it was okay loot that we got. So we got 1 contraband package from the planet thing. So after defeating them, we got 1 contraband package, which we can sell for 200 serum if we ever find a Corsair settlement. We got 75 serum from like loose change one of the guys had in his pockets. And we have found a workable, usable ion carbine, which I will give to Aoi, even though she's not graceful. A gun is a useful thing to have, so just note this down here. Right, so let us take off. There are 2 moons here we could also explore, but I feel we want to deal with this contraband that we've got because we have a lot of money locked up in an unusable thing. So let's continue here. Let's maybe work our way around to the Warg settlement. See if we find anything there. So we get different sorts of encounters in the different rings. The outer ring is most likely to be like space pirates. The inner ring is most likely to be like Dyson sphere stuff and solar flares, and the middle ring is most likely to be like settled places, relatively speaking. So sticking to the middle ring is good if we're looking for settlements. So let's try going to Hex 10, and let's see, we'll maybe make this the last Hex, and then we'll end stream. But yep, this is fun so far. Let's see, so Hex 10, continuing in the middle ring. We have a 5. Which is another planet. Okay. That's not amazing. It is a medium-sized planet with no satellites. Okay, I don't really feel inclined to explore another planet just now. Let's see, what hex is this? This was Hex 10. It is a medium planet. Let's give it a name, and then we'll just move on to the next hex, I think. Name table. Name table. Where are you? $92. Zmena. Oh, we also need to determine what sort of planet it is. It's another Gaian planet. Okay. So we see the planet below us, but continue on. Let's move into Hex 9. So we need to mark off one more fuel. Come on, don't be another planet. It's, oh my god, it's another planet. Okay, let's see. So there's a 2, whatever that is, and it's another Gaian planet. I feel like you can't have that many planets in the same like orbital ring. Okay, this is another planet with 2 moons. Well, we'll have lots of planets to explore once we are in the mood to do so. Let's see, planet, 2 moons. How did I format this? Yeah, we have name, then moons. Okay. So this planet is Olympus. Good name. And the moons are called... that's gonna be... Oh, I misunderstood the satellite names. I thought it was D20 plus D20, but it is not. It is D20 on the left. You combine it with D20 on the right. Okay, let's rename the ones up here first. Right, so we've got 13 and 19. So this is Omicron, Eden. This one is 1915. Psi Light. I wonder why the satellite names are so so sci-fi compared to the planet names. Okay, so we have Olympus, then we have 2 moons here. We have a Lambda node. And Lyra Moth. Let's continue on. So we'll continue on to cycle. Like, we do need to buy new fuel. Oh, hex 8. Yes, that was 9. So this is, yes, 8. Okay, cool. Come on, please don't just be another Gaian planet. Please, oh god, please. Whew, 6. I don't think that was a settlement, but it's a faction encounter. Ooh. So we can roll a d10 for which faction it is. Please be a nice one. 7. We encounter the ISF. Roll for a neutral encounter if you have 0 or higher favour with the faction. For a hostile encounter, you have negative favour. So I don't really want to build up favour with the ISF, but you know, a neutral encounter is good. Okay, right. So the Intersolar Federation, built from the last remnants of the galactic empires that ruled the universe before the apocalypse, the Intersolar Federation is the de facto trade authority in this universe. When the ruling galactic empires of the old world crumbled, it was evident that a new legislative structure would need to rise in its place. The initiative first came from the merchants and traders that survived the calamity. Afraid that their profitable businesses would be compromised, several trade federations, megacorporations, and independent republics united under a single banner, the Intersolar Federation. The newly formed faction also became a refuge for scientists and intellectuals struggling to find a place in this new galaxy. The ISF's goal is to fight piracy and establish a moderate consensus-based order to intersystem relations and power dynamics through a democratically elected Universal Council. Okay, neutral encounter. A gigantic Edge-charged W cargo ship is docked in an orbiting trade hub. Hundreds of metal containers are loaded into its cargo bay while a group of engineers fix its engine. Our engine failed before reaching our next stop. We'll miss the deadline on the shipment, a merchant comments. He thinks for a few seconds and offers to pay you 100 Serum if you deliver the cargo to the nearest settlement. If we accept, we get 2 cargo containers and we deliver them to get +1 favour. We don't know of a nearby settlement, so that's a little tricky. But I would take the mission, like just delivering cargo. I suppose maybe a way of resolving this is, if like obviously they know where a settlement is, so I could just like pick a random hex nearby and say there's a settlement there. The ISF guys tell me about it. Okay, I'm thinking. Let's look at our map thing. Here we go. So I'm going to roll a D6, I guess, centered on hex. A D7, I guess, centered on hex 8. And we can reroll if there's a conflict. But this could determine like where it is. Okay, there is a settlement right here in hex 8. So let's put that on the map. So we encounter these ISF guys, and let's see, they have an orbiting trade hub. That's kind of interesting. Oh no, I'm currently in hex 8 when this is happening. I guess I was rolling in hex 7 then. Okay. So I guess we don't put anything on the map here, because if this is a faction encounter, it makes sense that they'll move on. Right? This cargo ship isn't going to be here forever. We had a hostile encounter over here in hex 1. I think it does make sense to leave that there, because we've not resolved the hostile encounter. Maybe once we resolve this hostile encounter, we can work out what else is there. So let's put down a blank thing here. So we'll just re-roll when we're next in this hex, but we have visited this hex. Okay, so we need a name for this merchant. We can't just call them merchant. And let's see, we are approaching 3 hours now, so maybe we'll just kind of flesh out the details of this encounter, and then we can end with the mission to go to this settlement in hex 7 and pick it up next time. So this is a faction encounter, ISF. It's neutral encounter 3. So we pick up what seems to be a battleship surrounded by fighters on our scanners and prepare to flee. Then they reach out, but then they hail us. And it's actually a large cargo ship surrounded by tenders. They ask for support. They ask if we can provide support, but unfortunately we don't have a mechanic. They ask if we can provide support, but we don't have a mechanic. Aoi scowls at me. She seems grumpier after her near-death experience. Let's get a name for this merchant. This guy. Let's get also a name for the spaceship. Oh, we didn't name our spaceship. Oh, that's clearly the most important thing. We've got to name our spaceship, and we've got to name the ship that we've just encountered. So, I guess also I have this contraband on my character sheet. I guess we should put this contraband in our cargo hold. Seems a sensible place for it. Three contraband packages. Okay, naming our ship. Very, very important. Our ship is either the Trident or the Void Gates. The Void Gate sounds quite edgy. But the Trident is not very inspiring. Maybe we can combine this with the needlessly sci-fi satellite names. The Something Trident. Oh my god, it could be the Omega Void Gates. That's so edgy. Let's call it the Trident unit. Like maybe there's like maybe it's designed to be crewed by 3 people, and like the previous owners like called it the Trident unit because there were 3 of them, and then we got the ship secondhand or something, and it's just been me and Aoi. And Aoi's like, the space for a 3rd person we could really do with a mechanic. And I was like, yeah, maybe someday. And now I'm thinking we need a medic. Okay, and this big merchant ship, what is it called? The Unity. That sounds perfect for these guys. So we pick up what seems to be a battleship surrounded by fighters on our scanners and prepare to flee, but then they hail us and it's actually a large ISF cargo ship, the Unity, surrounded by tenders. They ask if we can provide support, but we don't have a mechanic. Aoi scowls at me. She seems grumpy since her near-death experience. So tempted to add, I think she'd be pretty if she smiled more, but I don't think my character's that sort of person. Let's see. I wanted a name for this merchant. That's what I was originally thinking. This is a neutral named merchant called Rain. So we stay in chat for a bit over the comms, just for a break. One of the merchants, Rain, proposes a deal. They ask if we can take, 2 cargo containers? Yeah. It's what we need to determine what sort of settlement, faction controls this settlement. So let's see, random factions. This is going to be the Corsairs. Okay. It's okay because we actually wanted to get to a Corsair settlement to sell our contraband. So this works out very well. So that's if we can take some cargo containers to a Corsair settlement 1 hex northwest. they'll pay 100 for it. I want to know a little bit more about this merchant. Maybe we can encounter them again. I know, maybe an emotion might be enough. 17. Impulsive. Okay. One of the merchants, Rain, impulsively proposes a deal. They ask if we can take 2 cargo containers to a Corsair settlement 1 hex northwest of here. They'll pay 100 serum for it. They're non-specific as to what's in the containers. But this is the ISF we're talking about, so it can't be too bad. I think we accept. Okay, so I have 2 cargo containers. So that's going to get us a 1 ISF rep and 100. Oh, not rep, favor. I call it rep, reputation. I guess I kind of think of it in like Eclipse Phase terms. Even though I've only played like 1 short campaign of Eclipse Phase, like faction reputation makes sense. Okay, so we'll do that. Alright, I guess we'll end it here then. We'll pick up next time with going to this settlement to sell this stuff. Since it is a Corsair settlement, we'll have an opportunity to get Corsair rep and maybe join that faction. I kind of want to join the Warg faction, but we've not found a Warg settlement yet. I think we either need like a Warg faction encounter so we can build up some rep with them, or a Warg settlement so we can do side quests for them. But we'll see how it goes. If the Corsairs are really the only faction we can like form a deal with, like build a relationship with, so be it. Okay, right, so we'll end it here. Thank you for watching. And let's see what is coming up next. So tomorrow I'm going to be playing more Seance of Blake Manor. So that was fun, and I didn't complete it, so we'll do more. And then on Monday, as it says at the bottom of the screen, I have my new model debut, so do show up for that. I'm looking forward to showing it off and moving off from this nice but somewhat generic pre-made model I've been using. So, yep, that is it. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and let's go raid Himayatsuki. I will set that up. And one day I should come up with a raid message, but that is not this day. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.